Mongolia, home to nomadic herdsmen, ancient warriors, and Hucho taimen, the world's largest trout. A few years ago, 3 American anglers, Mongo Fly's Peter Mullett, his partner Geneviève Villamizare, and filmmaker Mikey Wier traveled to this land in search of these legendary fish. With their Mongolian friend Shenbat Chalum and a new fleet of pontoon boats, they roamed the countryside fishing and exploring northern Mongolia's remote rivers. After some decent angling, they decided to head off overland in search of new waters. In a remote corner of the country, they came to a small village. After some arbitration with the local taimen protectors, they were led down a long, windy trail that ended at one of the most beautiful rivers any of them had ever seen. This remote canyon turned out to be a stronghold for the legendary river wolves. After a couple of days of incredible fishing, including the painful loss of a truly huge taimen hooked by Mikey Wier, the team vowed to someday return to this most holy water of Eastern Asia. Peter, Geneviève, and Mikey were all haunted by their first experience on the Ider River as they came to know its name, and although it took nearly 2 years of research and planning, they finally came back to fully explore this amazing fishery. We are proud to present this special Wild on the Fly episode featuring their return to the river time forgot. I'm your host, Joe Daniel, and we're about to go wild on the fly in Mongolia. This journey started, as most trips to Mongolia do, with a visit to the capital city of Ulaanbaatar, where one of the main attractions is Peace Square and the newly completed Mongolian State Building. Mongolia is the birthplace of fierce warrior Genghis Khan, who once conquered the largest land empire of all time. Mongolians are very proud of this fact, and evidence of the great ruler is apparent everywhere you look. From the capital city of Ulaanbaatar, it's a few-hour plane ride to the northern outpost town of Moran, a jumping-off point for many fishing and hunting expeditions into the north of Mongolia. It was here that the 3 original crew members met up with the 3 new additions to the Mongo Fly team, Jeff Currier, Brent Dawson, and Paul Cavanaugh. Moran more resembles an old outpost town from the Wild West than what most Westerners would consider a city. It's a great introduction to true Mongolian lifestyle. The people are friendly and quick to smile. The crew took this opportunity to stock up on some last-minute supplies for the expedition.
The black market.
Yeah, now
I feel like I'm gonna get jealous of that setup there in no time.
maybe you could buy the
Time to buy some warmth.
He's
got the pimp pad, dude.
I'm gonna snoop out a hat or something.
I want the sweater. Still on
Keep
sweater.
going, dude.
Sweater
Keep
hunt.
going, dude.
Keep rolling.
I'm gonna Sherpa, dude. Mongolian style, look at that perfect fit every time. I got professional dressers.
Yes.
I want to make sure I'm warm. Catch a taimen.
Once the supplies were gathered, the crew headed back to the cabin to go over the plan and check out some
Yeah,
flies.
so we'll get to some stuff in here that we really don't know what's on.
Half my trip this year was paid off.
I've looked at it from just going and zooming in as far as you can.
So you guys fish.
I'm 31 and happy right here. That's all I can tell you. This hat.
Very dangerous.
We won't go over it.
Brent Dawson is the founder and cutting-edge fly designer of Warpath Flies. He really pulled out all the stops preparing for this taimen adventure.
So what does this do? Make more water noise? The
That
whole
moves
system?
probably a half a gallon of water every time you pull it.
It's a battle in itself.
Nasty, huh? Look at that one.
Squirrel!
Baby Lennox. Lennox gone wild. What I feel is 7/0 in the front with a 5/0 stinger. I don't care if you're 115 pounds, you're gonna get spanked. This is kind of one that we throw around all day long, just kind of a lightweight.
That looks like your parrot.
Yeah, but look at how big those hooks are. These are huge.
As with most expeditions to Outer Mongolia, this one started by organizing the gear and packing it into some wasp vans and an old Russian military truck. Then the 2-day overland journey of getting to the Ider River truly began. Finally, the team arrived at their put-in and began the long process of reorganizing the gear and assembling the boats. Then went over their arrangements to be picked up 2.5 weeks later. This trip had been 2 years in the planning, and all they had to go off of was a Google Earth map and an inherent belief that everything would be all right. The loose plan was to float over 140 miles of uncharted river. The only backup plan, if anything went wrong, was a single-shot Russian rifle and 4 extra bullets. Once the gear was organized, they loaded it into the boats and headed off down the river. With the stress of getting there behind them and nothing but open water ahead, the crew's thoughts quickly turned to nothing but fishing. It's one of life's greatest feelings knowing all you have to do for the next 2.5 weeks is fish. It wasn't long before Mr. Warpath Flies himself, Brent Dawson, hooked into the first taimen of the trip.
Here goes the gator roll.
First ever Mongolian taimen. It's an awesome experience, man. Gotta like this. Look at those spots.
Hucho taimen have been recorded at over 230 pounds, making them the largest salmonid on the planet.
Mongolia.
A dominant fish will inhabit the same stretch of river for over 80 years. They are a top-notch predator and dominate the river system. Their prey consists of rabbits, squirrels, birds, and other fish. Taimen are built for speed and power. There have been reports of them grabbing rodents off the banks of the river as they come down for a drink. They are a more than worthy adversary for any fly rotter. Some would even say they are the pinnacle of freshwater fly fishing quarry. Taimen have 2 rows of razor-sharp teeth and a massively powerful jaw, capable of snapping a 5/0 hook in half or shredding your hand. The taimen's main food source is the Manchurian trout species known as the linnock. Linnock are abundant in the river and can easily reach 25 to 30 inches. Whenever there is a hatch, the river comes alive with rising linnock. They feed just like trout in North America and can easily be caught on dries and streamers. Brent got nicknamed the Linnock Con on this trip. Jeff caught his share of Linnock too, many of them on huge poppers intended to fool taimen. Linnock are fun and all, but as soon as you catch a 20-incher with a huge bite mark out of it, your thoughts quickly turn to catching the fish that considers him to be bait. Out come the Linnock patterns and the 10 to 12 weight rods. Sight fishing to taimen is possible, but just because you spot one doesn't mean you're going to get him. They can be super unpredictable. Sometimes they bite the first cast, other times the group worked fish for 2 days and couldn't get them to take.
He saw you.
Then, just because you hook one doesn't mean you're going to land it either.
Nice.
They have super hard jaws,
Nice job.
and it's difficult even to set a 6/0 hook. But that's taimen fishing for you.
Wild on the fly.